welcome back. You're watching The Property Guide and ET Now. Thank you so much for staying with us. Our guests are still here in the studio helping us make smarter decisions when it comes to property. And this week, we're focusing on Wadala, a micro market in Mumbai that's currently a hot destination for development. Take a look. When you talk about hot property destinations in Mumbai, Wadala is a location you can scarcely afford to ignore. Situated in central Mumbai, Wadala stands to benefit from a bouquet of proposed infrastructure projects that will connect it to South Mumbai, BKC and the western suburbs. Take a look at how property rates have moved. A 1,000 square foot multi-story apartment in Wadala would have costed you 98 lakh rupees in March 2009. It's now available for 1.55 crore rupees. One of the main reasons for the sharp increase in property prices is the planned monorail that will connect Wadala and Chembur to the western suburb of Andheri. The recently opened Eastern Freeway is going to be a game changer for Wadala as well. Apart from this, the MMRDA plans to develop Wadala into a major commercial district. However, if you're looking to buy a home here, there are a few things you must consider. Certain pockets of Wadala have high levels of pollution due to oil refineries and industries in the area. And while the truck terminus that's being planned may turn it into a transport hub, it will also lead to congestion and traffic woes for commuters and residents. Alright, so that's Wadala. I'm going to bring in our guests one by one. So much development in Wadala. For anybody who drives past that area, you can see construction come up. But there's also a lot of promise because of infrastructure. How bullish are you on Wadala for the next 5 years?
Well, I would say one should be cautious in Wadala. Primarily looking at the kind of supply which is coming into the space. One should basically be very careful while one is picking up an apartment there. He or she needs to look at a very reputed developer who has a very good track record. Just going and buying an apartment where there's a lot more promise, as you rightly said, there's a lot more promise built in there today, except monorail and the freeway which is going to connect this location to the business hubs of Bombay, but still has a lot of challenge in terms of connecting the BKC, which is the prime business hub of Bombay. Lower Parel may have a better connectivity with Wadala, but going forward, we believe that one should be very cautious in terms of choosing the sub-location within Wadala.
Ravi, if somebody came up to you today looking to invest in Wadala, would you point them in Wadala or in Chembur in Mumbai?
I think that entire belt, Wadala to Chembur, is very promising. Wadala, for one, has an entry and exit of the Eastern Freeway, so that gives it immediate connectivity from South Mumbai. But having said that, Wadala also has the benefit of the Santa Cruz, Chembur, connectivity via Chembur. Then there is this entire talk about MMRDA, which may promote, the truck terminal or the bus terminal projects. And if that takes off, I think that's a huge social infrastructure project. And I don't see it, very far off. Maybe in a couple of years' time, they may see some light of the day. Having said all of this, I think one has to be careful, cautious. Prices have run up, but then these are still pre-launch prices. So when projects will come up and one would see delivery, prices would again inch up further.
Jashi, I'm going to bring you in here. We talked about the fact that there's so much development happening in Wadala. Do you feel that the run-up that's happened over the last 5 years might not continue for the next 5 years? And is there a possibility there of some oversupply?
Actually, it depends on the MMRDA plan. MMRDA wants to create this as an alternate business district, secondary business district, because they're rapidly running out of land in the BKC area. If that project takes off and once there is a strong economic activity there, no matter how much supply comes, I think it gets absorbed.
Well, going forward, do you expect there to be more demand then again for the mid-segment properties in Wadala? Or given its new proximity to Nariman Point because of the Eastern Freeway, do you think the high end will see more demand?
Well, I would say that high end will see the demand in terms of looking at the lot more aspects of luxury to attach to it. Luxury doesn't really mean that you have few more amenities within the complex. But what really makes important point is it will see growth, but it will not see as much growth as what Chembur will give as a location. What you asked a few minutes back. I guess the location of Wadala will be an affordable segment location where people who can't afford in key areas of Bombay will look at Wadala as an option. But Wadala, considering the environment there, considering the pollution there, considering many other aspects of Wadala, there are a lot of positives there and a lot of negative
I'm going to ask you to go over what you said about the environment and the pollution, because Wadala has been a traditional industrial area in Mumbai. It's not a traditional residential area. Take us through what changes are happening there and what risks that could pose for people who live there.
Well, at this point of time, a lot many people are ignoring the risks which are involved in Wadala at this point of time. But yes, there are a lot more, like as Ravi said, there's a truck terminal and there's a truck which actually moves to BPT, Bombay Port Trust. The trucks actually move from that area. So there's the kind of traffic which will actually continue to move from this space will not be a favorable feature which one will look at. Lot more aspects of with regard to there would be industries which are still there, which are still producing that kind of pollution, which basically will continue to be there. We can't see them moving out of Bombay for maybe next few years at least. Within Wadala, there are some pockets which are safer, some pockets which are not safer. One will have to look at some pockets which are safer rather than just going and buying a property in Wadala.
So remember how we told you that you should do a lot of homework when you're considering Wadala. What we've done is we've got our panel of experts to put their heads together and do some of that homework for you. Here's a list of projects in Wadala that you could consider right now if you're looking to buy a home. Evoke and Dioro by the Lodha developers, priced at 22,500 rupees and 15,500 rupees a square foot. Ambrosia by the Dosti Group, priced at 18,500 rupees a square foot. Xeon and Aeon by Ajmera Realty, priced at 18,000 rupees a square foot. And the RNA Metropolis, priced at 20,000 rupees a square foot. All right, it's time for us to answer a few questions. We have a question from Uday who's written in. He wants to know if it's the right time to invest in the Hyderabad property market, keeping in mind the breakup of the state. Oh, I'll come to you first. Given what we've seen, we finally had a decision now. Will we see the market move forward in the next 3 years?
The way I look at it is, in India, there are only few cities which give that comfort of job creation and more wealth creation happening. Bangalore, Hyderabad, Gurgaon, Pune, Chennai. And we see is Bangalore being the leader in the space today in terms of, if you look at the commercial space leased out in Bangalore, in last quarter we see it has actually overtaken Bombay. So considering the way things are happening in Bangalore today, Hyderabad happens to be the second preferred choice for any IT company after Chennai.
It offers far better value right now because
absolutely, and it's around 4,500, 4,000 to 5,000 rupees price range in IT city, Madhapur area. I don't think there is anything to lose from this valuation. So I think if somebody is looking at to buy in Hyderabad city, one needs to focus on in and around the IT city space rather than going and buying anything in the city.
Ravi, what sort of return can he expect from Hyderabad if he focuses on the locations that Om has mentioned?
In the next 3 years, 10 to 15% per annum year on year can be something one can envisage or expect. I also feel the political reasons why Hyderabad took a beating so far now seem to be behind us, at least in terms of concept. And going forward, 3 years down the line will be resolved further. The IT hub, as Om said, Madhapur, or even a little distant towards Gachibowli, Kukatpalli, these are excellent locations where the IT community would be buying, would be growing with growing families. And I think the demand would sustain over the next 3 to 5 years.
All right, here's a quick list of properties in Hyderabad that you can take a look at in those areas. The Lodha Beliza in Kukatpalli at 4,600 rupees a square foot. Phoenix Golf Edge in Gachibowli at 5,500 rupees a square foot. My Home Abra in High Tech City, 5,000 rupees a square foot. And SS Green Grace in Gachibowli at 3,000 rupees a square foot. All right, so we hope that helps. You can write back to us, if you need any more help. It's time for us to take a quick break, and also time for me to thank all of our guests for joining us on the show and giving us advice. Jayashree, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you. When we come back from this break, we're going to sit down with RNA Corp and discuss the company's plans and find out what they're working on right now. Don't go anywhere.